Alright, I'm ready to go now. So anyway, this place stays in between case 1 and case 2. I'll just tell you, Ouchie pressed charges towards Asogi after what happened in the first case. So we're playing from Asogi's perspective. What fun! Also, yes, thank you for telling me to hydrate. I should do that before this starts. December 2nd, 8:47 a.m., the Supreme Court Defendant Lobby number 3. I found myself in a rage that morning. To think that my best friend would be made to suffer like this not once, but twice. Naruhodo! Oh. Oh no, they're in their DLC outfits! Oops! Oh, that means Susato's in her DLC outfit, isn't she? Sogi. Thank goodness you made it in time. Yeah, I had to take a steamship and then transfer to an overnight train, and I just got here. Oh, I'm so relieved. I was afraid you wouldn't make it. I don't know what to do anymore. Quit your complaining, Naruhodo. When I say I'll be somewhere, then I will. That goes double for when it's for a friend in need. Asogi. This is my best friend, Naruhodo Ryanosuke. He's my classmate at Yume Imperial University. He found himself in the defendant's chair in this very court 10 days ago as a suspect in a certain murder case. I just realized this was loud. In spite of only being a student, he managed to prove himself innocent. And in spite of having been the defendant, he succeeded at the feat of providing his own defense. Come on, Asogi. That wasn't thanks to any skill of mine. It was all because I had an outstanding student defense attorney at my side. What are you talking about? Your defense was nothing short of stunning. As I stood at his side that day, it became incredibly clear to me that you have real talent as a defense attorney. Well, personally, I never thought I'd stand in court again, but here we are. You must be tired after your long journey, Kazuma-sama. Is she in her costume? Okay. I think Naruhodo's the only one in the costume. Ligoe Mikatoba. Thanks for your telegram. Another complaint was filed. Stop. Return at once. Stop. Trial at 9 a.m. on the 5th. Stop. Naruhodo. I wasn't sure what the Naruhodo at the end meant and wasted about 2 minutes wondering about it, though. I'm very sorry. I simply sent the content just as Naruhodo-sama wrote them. What he's referring to is that when Naruhodo wrote his name, I believe... So in the Japanese, is that Naruhodo's Japanese name is, there's a U at the end of his name, because if you don't have the U, like it is in the localized version, it's actually spelled like the word Naruhodo, which is I-C. So when Asogi read that, there was no U at the end of it, so he read it as I-C and not as a name. Hey, come on, we're friends, right? You should have realized right away that it was my name. Isn't your name Naruhodo? The U wouldn't fit. If your telegram is longer than 30 characters, the price to send it goes up by 2 zennies. Thanks to you for being a cheapskate over 2 zenny, I had to waste 2 minutes of my precious time. I'm glad to see you two getting along as well as ever. This is Mikatoba Susato. She's an outstanding legal aid. She's always providing assistance to me when I'm acting as a defense attorney. She's a reliable ally, whom I trust from the depths of my heart. Truly, those are words of highest praise. The day after my friend Naruhodo Ryunosuke's trial ended, I boarded a steamship to Yokohama, bound for Shikoku. I figure I had to say goodbye to everyone at the Asogi main house before I finally depart for the Great British Empire. I received a telegram there and hurry back right away aboard the overnight train in order to assist my friend. Kazuma-sama, does the fact that you're here this morning mean that you read over the complaint? To be precise, I didn't arrive this morning, but just now. This was delivered to my house, but I still haven't broken the seal. What? What does that mean you don't... Yeah, I hardly know anything about the charges in this case. Maybe you should. All I heard was that the prosecutor in your case the other day raised an objection to your verdict 3 days after it was handed down and raised additional charges. He sure did. Personally, I can't help thinking there must be some sort of mistake. Say no more, Naruhodo. I'm fully aware of the situation. You are? Huh? I heard that as a result of the trial the other day, Prosecutor Aochi's reputation came under major fire. I'm sure these additional charges are that prosecutor's attempt at revenge. Did you say revenge? I'm sure he's trying to make trouble for us with some worthless conjecture or something. How concerning. But I think I kind of understand how that prosecutor must be feeling. What? I mean, he was defeated by a mere student in a trial that all these powerful people had gathered to watch. Furthermore, honestly, this is precisely why the judicial system in this country can't be trusted. Hello and welcome. Asogi. Using the Supreme Court to harass a student. It's an outrage is what it is. Those who wield the name of the law to harm others are no better than criminals themselves. That's true. The coercive tactics of the prosecutor's office has been subject to criticism in the newspapers recently. The indictment against me in the trial was pretty coercive, wasn't it? To be honest, I've been having trouble trusting the police since all that. But, unfortunately, the police and prosecutors aren't the only ones who aren't trusted by the general population. We defense attorneys aren't much better off. Seriously? Sounds like you haven't been keeping an eye on the papers recently, have you, Naruhodo? No, I haven't been. I've been in no position to be sitting around reading the paper lately. I purchased a copy of this morning's paper. Is this article you're referring to? Lauded defense attorney arrested. It's all over the front page. Yeah. I might have guessed you know about it, Legal Aid Mikotoba. You never let your guard down, do you? Sus. Don't bring the sus here. Apparently, a defense attorney attempted to bribe a member of the judicial system. I see. So there's bribery going on, huh? That's pretty bad. It was only recently that our country established the defense attorney system. We're looked down on as sophists, and our social standing is still pretty low. We're still in the process of trying to earn the citizens' trust, and misconduct like this happens. You better at least read this, Naruhodo. I don't like reading the paper. You should read it, even if you don't like it. You're a university student of the Imperial City too, after all. What? How is it that you always manage to be able to tell what I'm thinking so easily? It's because you always mumble your thoughts to yourself. Newspaper article. This morning's paper contains an article about a lauded defense attorney having been arrested. In any case, I don't know what sort of claims that prosecutor is spewing now. Oh, this is Asogi now, but I'll be behind the defense bench today. You alright with that, Naruhodo? Huh? But isn't that... Say no more, Naruhodo. I'm fully aware of the situation. No, you're not! You didn't read the thing! You refused to let me defend you in your trial 10 days ago. I understand the intent behind that considerate decision of yours, but I'd at least like to take care of all the loose ends myself. But Kazuma-sama... Say no more, Legal Aid Mikotoba. That prosecutor is no match for me. I'll get you out of this for sure. Just leave it to me. Soufflato. There's something I should confirm. Defendant! It's time for court to convene. Proceed to the courtroom at once. Sounds like it's time. Oh man. I'll be counting on you, Legal Aid Mikotoba. Certainly. Don't make that face, Naruhodo. We'll meet again later, my friend. In the Supreme Court. Yeah. Alright. Man, maybe you should let those two talk, Asogi. I'm Asogi Kazuma. I'm a second year at Yume Imperial University, and a defense attorney qualified to stand in court. And next month, I'll cross the great ocean to the Great British Empire to finally fulfill my lifelong dream. As a legal studies exchange student, to study the cutting-edge development of the British judicial system. This will probably be my last trial in Japan for a while. This time, I'll be the one to rescue my friend from danger. If you say so, Asogi. Same day, 9 a.m., Supreme Court, courtroom number 1. I now declare court to be in session.
The prosecution is ready.
The defense is ready.
Oh, ready, eh? It appears that the little student is aware of the greatest principle of the Supreme Court.
No, I don't have the kazoo ready. It's on the way. What do you mean?
There are no women permitted in the Supreme Court. That means you, standing there with that composed expression on your face.
Shut up, Ouchie.
Don't try to play dumb. Get out right this instant.
If you'll permit me, I heard that this trial is in regards to a personal complaint made by you, Prosecutor Ouchie-sama.
What? What of it?
For such a trial to be held in the Supreme Court is highly irregular. That was permitted as one-time special case. So, since it's a special case, I like to be accepted as a female legal aid just for today.
Ridiculous, as if we...
Shut up! Very well, we'll grant special permission.
What?
Legal aid Mikotoba is a force to be reckoned with. After all, this is a special trial. Let's not quibble over details.
Ugh.
Now then, more importantly, Asogi Kazuma. Yes, Your Honor. Don't tell me you plan to act as the defense in today's trial. Yes. We intend to obliterate whatever conjecture the prosecution dare tosses out at us.
Conjecture, you say?
Prosecutor Ouchie, it appears that you don't understand your own position.
Oh?
A conclusion was clearly reached in Naruhodo's trial 10 days ago. The true killer admitted to her crime. The case is over. You ought to be highly aware of that yourself. It would seem that we finally arrived at the conclusion of this trial. Do you have anything to add, Prosecutor Ouchie?
This is ridiculous! How could I, the Honorable Ouchie, be defeated by these novice college students? Yes, I suppose such a farce did occur. However, it appears that the one who doesn't understand his own position is you, little student boy.
What?
For starters, I'm not sure someone who hasn't even read the complaint is qualified to stand behind the defense bench.
How did he... Kazuma-sama, perhaps this is impertinent of me, but I strongly advise that you confirm the contents of the complaint now. It's recorded in the court record. The court record. I can view information about the evidence by touching the court record button. Maybe I should take the opportunity to check it over once. Sure, let's do that. Alright, where's this complaint? Let's read this Can I read the complaint? That's the newspaper. Wait, is this the newspaper? Oh, well, okay, this is the newspaper. Alright. The newspaper says, Lauded defense attorney arrested. The Imperial Police arrested Sodenshida Tadashi. Soden-Oshida Tadashi, a defense attorney currently active in the Supreme Court, last night. According to our sources, the charge is bribery of a judicial system official. It's likely that a secret investigation was being carried out by the prosecution before the fact. Okay, I can't open this, so I'm gonna have to okay, that's fine. Okay. The complaint contains details of the charges. The defendant is Sogi Kazuma. The charge is assault. I can also look at the profiles. Is there anything on the student badge? I have all the information here on this stuff, so I guess I'll look. I always wear it pinned on my uniform, nothing new there. Let's look at the profiles. What does he have to say? Ryanosuke, my best friend and classmate at the university. He got caught up in a murder case the other day, but he proved his own innocence. An outstanding legal aide who assists me when I'm defending. I trust her completely. Good. The prosecutor in charge of this case, the fact that he also handled the prosecution in Naruho's trial the other day and lost, is still fresh in his memory. It sure is.
So, now that you've read the complaint carefully, why don't we hear the student boy's answer? Let's start by having you state the name of the defendant in this trial.
It's incredibly obvious. It should go without saying. The name of the defendant, the one being charged in this trial, is Naruhodo Ryanosuke, Mikatoba Susato, or Kazuma Asogi. We're gonna pick the wrong answer. Let's go with Naruhodo first. I shouldn't even need to say this, but it's obviously Naruhodo Ryanosuke.
You shouldn't even need to say this, huh?
He may be kind of scatterbrained and pretty careless, but he hasn't hurt anyone. That's already been proven.
If your friend is kind of scatterbrained and purely careless, then I suppose that makes you pretty scatterbrained and really careless.
What? The court can't help being astounded by the defense's scatterbrained carelessness. Ugh! What's going on here? What's going on here is I have the controls. Kazuma-sama, please go ahead and read the complaint. Touch the court record button right away, for goodness sake. I've never seen legal aid Mikatoba look so desperate before. I better touch the court record button and check the information on the evidence. Now then, the defense will present his answer once more.
So, now that you've read the complaint carefully, why don't we hear the student boy's answer? Let's start by having you state the name of the defendant in this trial.
The one in charge is Susato. I suppose the answer would be Mikotoba Susato. Thank you for all you've done for me so far, Kazuma-sama. I think I'll board a train and settle on a journey now. No, that's not what I meant. It's just that the fatigue of rushing to the Supreme Court this morning. The defendant is the person the charges are being raised against. Bullying Asogi's great. The court would ask you two youngsters to continue your bittersweet argument out in the lobby. I wish I could undo all this and start over from the lobby myself. Alright. This is repeated dialogue. Okay, I will pick Kazuma now. Kazuma. The defendant's name is written right here at the very top of the complaint. Naturally, the one being charged is Asogi Kazuma. Asogi Kazuma. As I recall, the name of my best friend is Naruhodo Ryunosuke. That's precisely right. The one being sued today. Me? Order! To be honest, I was awfully surprised myself when I saw the complaint. Incidentally, the crime he's being charged for appears to be assault.
You do well to think back, student. Think back on what happened after the scene you recalled earlier.
After? It would seem that we finally arrived at the conclusion of this trial. Do you have anything to add, Prosecutor Ouchi?
This is ridiculous! How could I, the Honorable Ouchi, be defeated by these novice college students?
You would do well to think long and hard about your prosecuting career from this point on.
Naruhodo Ryunosuke!
Yes.
The Ouchi clan will never forget my grudge towards you!
The prideful will be tripped up by the young. History has proven that to us. You do well to engrave what you feel in this moment upon your heart. May your descendants do battle with the Naruhodos for 100 years and never triumph. The top knot has been murdered.
Regardless of what Hicks' student's verdict was, or whether the case was resolved, none of that matters. It has nothing to do with these charges.
You can't mean...
There is only one important point here. And that's my signature shaved top knot was shaved clean off!
F for the top knot. And that's what you mean by assault?
It certainly is.
You've gotta be kidding me.
He's got the katana hanging from his hip right now for starters, Your Honor. Slashing at someone inside the Supreme Court with a katana is quite reckless assault. Those who practice violence against others are literal criminals, are they not?
Oh. No, he's not wrong.
Actually, that scene occurred just as the trial had already ended. It's only now that I can confess that at the time, my knees were trembling and it took everything I had just to remain standing. And yet, poor Ouchi still had to experience the pain of having his shaved top knot shaved right off. Is it even possible for him to have overdone it any more than he already did? No, it's not!
Hi, Suki. Well,
Actually, I have a son as well who's around your age. But he doesn't go swinging a katana around in his classroom.
now that you say that, I think it over. The final blow might indeed have been completely unnecessary. No, it was definitely necessary.
Remember that as you stand there with your coolly fluttering headband as usual. Well, what do you have to say for yourself?
There's something about this that's hard to swallow, but I can't really deny that drawing my katana was kind of overboard, I guess. I apologize deeply. I won't do it again.
Kazuma-sama.
Well, the defendant has just bowed his head gracefully and politely in apology. So I see no reason why we can't consider this...
One moment, please, Your Honor. If this sort of thing could be resolved by simply apologizing, we would have no need for the Supreme Court.
What?
Bringing a katana into the courtroom is a crime, and cutting me with it was a crime. And there's one other crime he's committed that's worse than both of those. It's the fact that I can never again regrow my top knot because of him. That's the real crime. In light of all this, the prosecution calls for a sentence of 6 months hard jail time.
What? 6 months in prison?
I'm not sure about the bit regarding the unregrowable top knot, but if a defense attorney were to damage something after drawing his katana in court and going on a rampage, then 6 months jail time is a very reasonable sentence for this offense.
Oh, come on now. I really don't think what I did counts as a rampage. How this can be happening? How can this be happening? Damn that prosecutor Ouchie. To think he'd actually request jail time.
Well, I suppose the fact that you bowed your head graciously and politely in apology means that you accept the prosecution's charges.
Well...
You mustn't, Kazuma-sama. If you do that, your upcoming participation in the legal studies exchange program will be canceled.
Oh, yeah? Did you forget that, Osogi?
It seems as though the defense has no objections. In that case, Your Honor, I say it was high time we headed on a verdict.
If you'll permit me, Prosecutor Ouchi-sama. The defense has no intention of admitting to the prosecution's claim. Legal aid Mikotoba.
Who? A mere legal aid speaking out during a trial.
What do you mean, legal aid?
Yes, Your Honor. Even if he did swing his katana around in here like crazy.
Like crazy?
Regardless of how long the blade is, it couldn't possibly have reached the prosecutor's bench. In other words, Prosecutor Ouchi-sama's claim is nothing more than conjecture. It sounds as though we're destined to be at odds forever. Just as I thought.
This must mean that the prosecution has prepared a case. Is that right? A case proving that what Asogi Kazuma committed was assault.
Of course. We have perfect testimonies and perfect evidence. The trial is only just beginning, Your Honor.
Very well. In that case, the court requests that the witness will prove Asogi Kazuma's crime be shown into the courtroom. The witness who will prove.
I shall see it done with pure joy.
I wonder what sort of pointless case this would be. But if I lose this, the path to the Great British Empire will be closed to me. If this is a dream, I wish someone would wake me up right now. Nope, too bad. Deal with it.
Now then, witnesses, state your names and professions.
Right. My name is Hosonaga Satoru. I'm currently a barber. I'm currently a barber at the tonsure shop, tasked with cropping off my customers' top knots. Wow. So he went from a waiter to a barber. All right then. What are you investigating there, Hosonaga? Right. I'm Naruhodo Ryanosuke. I'm a second year at Yume Imperial University, and until 10 days ago, I was locked up in a cell for a crime I didn't commit. What are you doing at the witness stand? Well, Naruhodo-sama is a witness for the prosecution. Top 10 anime betrayals for the prosecution? To put it more simply, he's your enemy. Yeah, so, it's just like I was trying to tell you when we met in the lobby. I don't know what to do anymore. That's what I said. Why didn't you tell me that right away if that were the case? I tried several times, but at the time, you shushed me, telling me to say no more or whatever. Yeah, that's all your fault, Osogi.
In that fateful trial 10 days ago, this Hick student witnessed the moment of the defendant's crime from closer than anyone else.
Crime? And as for me, I may appear to be nothing more than a barber, but it's only a disguise. My shocking true identity is that of a detective undercover. Naturally, we all remember. Thank you for reminding us. Detective Hosonaga. He was a witness called in to the stand in the trial 10 days ago. Corvus, I think you told me to hydrate a moment ago? Yes, you did, I think.
Now then, let's have the witness testify.
Sorry, I lost my place in the script.
About the detestable crime that occurred that day and the tragic circumstances left behind in the wake of that crime.
Also, this is actually kind of nice doing it timeline order. Like, this flows pretty well so far. I shall do so truthfully. This, like, if you did case 1 and then transition to this, it actually flows pretty well. Asogi's crime. It's true, he did swing his katana in front of me. But I don't think that necessarily means that he cut your hair, prosecutor. Aochi-sama frequently visits our tonsure shop, but apparently ever since his hair was cut, it's completely stopped growing. Ooh, rip! It seems as though never being able to wear a top knot again was a fatal blow to Aochi-sama. I am stretching now. What? His hair has stopped growing? That's quite the alarming problem. How can you be so certain it's stopped? It's only been 10 days since it's happened.
I just know.
That's not a good argument.
A youngster with a plentiful head of hair can't possibly understand the dust screams of the dry grass on the wasteland as it awaits cutting.
The situation seems quite serious. Ridiculous.
Meiji society shrieks on about cultural reformation, and shaved top knots gradually vanish. However, I alone had decided to retain my top knot for the rest of my days.
You really should just see this as an opportunity to cut it all off. No!
What did you just say, you damn murderous scum?
Your inner thoughts are slipping out for everyone to hear, Naruhodo. If this whole testimony was true, then perhaps the defendant does indeed require a harsh punishment. No way. Does that mean that my study abroad to the Great British Empire will be cancelled? Over a top knot? Bear in mind as you conduct your cross-examination, Asogi Kazuma. Yes, Your Honor. Let's go. Boo. Okay, how do I press again? This button. I couldn't forgive that rotten top knot for mercilessly cornering you the way he did. It's okay. It made me happy. Actually, I thought it was refreshing. Refreshing. Hey, that's on the script.
Obviously, that was because he gave my top knot a refreshing slice.
In other words, everyone felt refreshed. Couldn't we just call it a day here?
As if! I had no intention of getting rid of my top knot as long as I lived.
The court strongly recommends turning your back on that bygone era. Anyway, I was right next to you at the time, so I'd like to make this clear. It's true that you swung your katana, but that's all I saw. Also, I should mention that the Japanese script between Naruhodo and Asogi is a lot gayer than what it is in the localized. Like, the localization has it, but holy crap, they're gay in the Japanese script. What is that supposed to mean, Naruhodo Ryanosuke? I mean, if you think about it, there's no way the blade could have reached. How could a katana swung from the defense's bench chop off a top knot behind the prosecution bench? Good point. That's completely true. But Asogi here, when he's had a big serving of beef stew, he gets a swelled head and starts bragging about weird things.
Bragging?
He claims that if he uses the Asogi clan's secret art of sword drawing, he can slice a melon in half from 7 meters away or something. Oh my god. Oh no, here we go. There's no way that's possible. I guess that's just how he... Naruhodo, you dare mock the Asogi clan's art of sword drawing. Huh? Bring a melon here at once. I'll cut it into as many portions as you want. It's December now, so finding a melon might be kind of impossible. A pumpkin, then. They're pretty hard, but it's worth a shot. Sogi, put down your pride for 2 seconds.
Did you hear what he just said, Your Honor? He just admitted himself that he would have been possible for him to have committed the crime.
Shut your mouth for a moment, Kazuma. Shut your damn pride. Kazuma-sama, what have you done? Sorry. When I heard the Asogi art of sword drawing called into question, I just couldn't help. Wanting to show everyone then and there that I could slice a melon in half.
It seems it's nearly time to present my definitive evidence to the court. My top knot unquestionably fell victim to his blade. And I have evidence that clearly proves that.
What?
And that evidence is this.
It's a twisted rope made of Japanese-style paper, and it's been cut clean through.
When you tie up a top knot, the proper way to do it is with Japanese-style paper. And the important point is how this twisted rope came to be cut.
This. Look at the way the rope was sliced. There's no mistaking it. It was cut with an incredibly sharp blade. What? It was cut by a katana? Well, defendant. Armed with my art of sword drawing and my famous sword karma, cutting a mere paper rope without touching it with the blade is child's play. You can't see it, but I'm making a face. This guy is too honest to a T.
Can we take those words of yours as a confession of guilt?
Don't even think about it. Anyway, the The court will accept that rope into evidence. Sliced rope, a rope that had been used to tie up Prosecutor Ouchie's top knot. It's been sliced clean through. It's true, I did cut through this rope that day. Just the rope itself, though. It's got a nice clean slice through it. Perhaps you've done enough bragging now for today. Yeah, I think you have. Please shut up. Stop your bragging. It seems that the defense has just put itself at a major disadvantage. But in any case, let us return to the cross-examination. I suppose that means it's my turn. Ouchie frequently visits the shop, but... So, you're conducting an undercover investigation in a tonsure shop this time, Detective Hosonaga. Yes, I've been collecting information there for about 3 years. That sounds too long to me. Wait, yeah, 2 jobs? 2 undercutter jobs at the same time? A tonsure shop is a social gathering place for gentlemen where a great variety of information is exchanged. Even the most tight-lipped gentlemen end up spilling their secrets to us barbers. The rhythm of my snipping scissors has garnered an especially favorable response from our customers. Are you doing your job, or you're just really good at cutting hair?
I refuse to allow anyone but this man to touch my top knot.
Truly words of high praise, sir. Are you sure you're really a detective? If you're going to go to the effort of doing something, do it perfectly. That's my motto. Twice a week, I, Hosonaga, become a crime-clipping barber. I guess he's more impressive than I originally given him credit for. I'd call him incredibly impressive myself. Ever since his hair was cut, it's completely stopped growing. The Asogi emotes are so good right now. The emote face for the Asogi is basically me. Is that possible? Hair is an incredibly delicate thing. What can even say it's been known to withdraw when its owner's experiences something especially terrifying? That's precisely why cutting it gently and earnestly is considered a valuable skill. Hearing that sort of makes me want to try visiting a barber myself. Me too.
And yet, what did you do? You cruelly hacked away at my precious locks. I used to grow so rapidly. Those locks had a future, I'll have you know.
Somehow, I've started seeing you as a bad guy, Kazuma-sama. I feel like something's not right here. Seems as though never being able to wear a top knot again was a fatal blow to Ouchie. Never again? Well, that's according to Ouchie-sama himself. When his sleek black hair was sliced, apparently it completely stopped growing. Naturally, I can't imagine why he would need it to grow longer than it already is, though. But has it really stopped growing? I'm afraid I don't know. After all, it's only been 10 days since the trial.
No one knows more about my hair than me myself. I definitely heard it that day. 1,000,000 death screams from on top of my head.
I can't help thinking that number sounds a tad exaggerated. So that's it for the testimony, huh? What do you think, Kazuma-sama? As if I'm going to give up on studying in England over a worthless top knot. Oof. He's mad. I believe that shout your spirit just produced is quite correct. In which case, we must make a strong case for the judge. That your blade can't possibly have reached the prosecutor from here. Right. Anyway, I better start by pressing everything and collecting more info. Good idea. One, two, examiner presents the rope. I apologize for cutting the tie on your top knot. However, I cannot overlook the prosecution's malicious lie.
What?
This rope was one straight cut through it. In other words, the blade touched nothing but the rope.
Nothing but the rope?
Oh! What is it, witness? Come to think of it, that moment was seared clearly into my eyes. The prideful will be tripped up by the young. History has proven that to us. You do well to engrave what you feel in this moment upon your heart. It's true that his top knot was cut, but I didn't see a single strand of hair fall in that moment. Exactly. The only thing I cut then was not your hair, but your hair tie.
Rubble. So what if that's true? It doesn't change the fact that you brandished your katana in the courtroom.
Ouchie! I believe you made the following claim earlier. The defendant made it so that Prosecutor Ouchie-sama could never again wear a top knot. And that was a fatal blow. That's what Hosonaga-sama testified. The point of this trial is that Ouchie is petty. However, that's impossible, and the reason should go without saying. I didn't trim such as a single millimeter of your hair, which means that this very second, you could tie your hair into the top knot style you love so much. So unfortunately, this is an inconsistency, because in canon, his hair is indeed chopped. Bailiff, quickly, bring us a twisted rope of Japanese paper. Ouchie, you're so petty. Like if it was expensive rope on your head, maybe. It's like we've gone back in time to 10 days ago. I believe this makes it abundantly clear. The prosecution's complaint was nothing but conjecture. In which case, we can assume that the claim that his hair has stopped growing completely is also suspect. I'm sure that that fact will become clear within a few months. And by that time, I'll already have made a crossing to the Great British Empire. That's true. So long as the prosecution's claim has been proven false, then the charge no longer stands. That would mean the end of this trial. I went ahead.
Ah, damn you!
Congratulations, Kazuma-sama. Now you can depart for the Great British Empire with a clear conscience. Yeah, I was a little worried for a minute there, but I've been dreaming of studying law in the Great British Empire for years. Luckily, it looks like that dream really will come true now. In that case, that concludes today's... What now, Ouchie?
Pardon me, but the mighty warder Ouchie would like to object to this man's participation in the Legal Studies Exchange Program.
Hello and welcome. What did you say? You object to my study abroad. What is the meaning of this, Prosecutor Ouchie?
A legal studies exchange student would be considered an ambassador for our nation. Not all candidates for that position are students studying law. Many outstanding members of the legal system, including currently employed judges, prosecutors, defense attorneys, submitted their names for consideration.
I believe that in the end, the Ministry of Justice played the main role in the imperial selection of the exchange student. And it was Asogi Kazuma-kun.
Incidentally, this man was selected due to some dishonesty occurring behind the scenes.
Excuse me? What?
We just happen to have proof of that. Isn't that right, witness?
What? Huh? You're asking me?
As if. Obviously, I'm asking the detective.
Yes, it's just as you say. Upon doing some investigation, Detective Hosonaga? Your department on your legal studies exchange program was finally nearly upon you at the end of this month. I didn't hear anything about any dishonesty in this, but if that's true, it would be a major problem. It sounds as though we require further testimony.
What a wise judgment, Your Honor. In that case, Detective Hosonaga, let us hear the findings of your investigation.
Thanks for the follow! Yes, understood. That's hiding behind the thing, but, I see it. Legal exchange program fraud. For a DLC, it's very deep! The selection process for the exchange student was split into several stages and was conducted mainly by the Ministry of Justice. There was a written exam, a practical exam, and a negotiation skills exam. In the end, the candidates all received a score. I was ordered to conduct an undercover investigation and managed to get my hands on some top secret documents. According to those documents, Asogi Kazuma's score put him not in first place, but in the runner-up position. In other words, the part about there being dishonesty involved is a conclusion reached by Prosecutor Aochi. That's sus already. Runner-up? Me? Not the first place candidate?
Ha! Don't be shocked, you filthy, headband wearing, plentiful hair-growing brat. A student defense attorney will be sent to the Great British Empire. That'll be the easiest thing for society to accept. I'm sure that was the inexcusable opinion of the majority of the Japanese government.
What? Ah! Don't let him get to you. It's only a scratch. To me, you'll always be the one and only true candidate. Oh, bless your soul, Naruhodo. Knock it off, Naruhodo. You only make me more miserable.
Take a compliment!
Asogi Kazuma. Yes, Your Honor. The exchange student selection progress was a rigorous one. I could say that with certainty. If you are indeed fit to be the legal studies exchange student, then you should be able to prove it for yourself. That means he wants me to show him my skill. Understood. I will now conduct my cross-examination. Are we pressing everything? It looks like we're pressing everything. Okay. Whew, whew. This whole case is so petty, though. Here we go. I'm sorry for your internet! Split into several stages. Wink. I haven't committed any fraud. All I did was take the exam, fair and square. Yes, well, personally, I like to believe that, but... What are you talking about? Asogi's not the type of guy to commit fraud. Naruhodo, you... But... even on the off chance that he had done it, then I'm sure it would only have been because he was that passionate about wanting to go to the Great British Empire. Naruhodo, I didn't do it, so your hypothetical talk is pointless. You're right. It's Naruhodo trying to fix the problem, but only makes it worse. It's kind of odd how all of a sudden we're all get the feeling that you might have done it. Here I was, thinking he showed promise as a defense attorney. But maybe it was all in my head.
Well, I'm sure dishonesty was his only choice.
Damn it, Naruhodo. Sorry, Asogi. There's a written, practical, negotiation exam, then they get the score. Those scores weren't revealed to us examinees. Right, they were treated as top secret information by the Ministry of Justice selection panel. Then, how on earth did you find out about the supposed fraud in the first place? Apparently, there was a whistleblower among the ranks. A whistleblower?
An anonymous letter was delivered to the prosecutor's office. The letter contained an accusation against the Ministry of Justice selection panel.
That could have just been someone's idea of a prank. That seems unlikely. The accusation contained information that only an insider could have known. It was likely sent by a member of the judicial system who possessed detailed information about the situation. And so you began your investigation. Correct. It's just a prank, bro. I was ordered to conduct an undercover investigation and get some documents and hand it over. And just how on earth did you get your hands on those documents? I'm a barber. What? Huh? He got it from the tonsure shop? There are high-ranking government officials among my customers, and when I'm preparing to shave their beards, I put a damp cloth over their faces. And on that towel is a little bit of sleeping medicine. Whoa! Okay, as silly as Hosonaga is, I don't think I want to mess with him. How can I put this? That's a pretty serious crime. Oh, but it's only a little. That's not the issue. If you're going to go to the effort of doing the investigation, do it perfectly. I was just thinking about perfection. Shrunosuke! That's not the issue here either. Apparently, he's more dangerous than he looks. So, you put the high-ranking official to sleep and stole the documents. No, unthinkable. It's just that... The documents show he was not first, but runner-up. How many points behind was I? Huh? How many finalists were there? Who was the first place? Who was the true candidate? Calm down, Asogi. Even if you've been in last place, in my heart you'll always be... I would never be in last place. It was only an example. Come up with better examples. I took a photo of the documents with a camera and gave them to Prosecutor Ouchi. I didn't look too carefully at the photo. I wasn't particularly interested in it. Okay, that's not helpful. What about being thorough and being perfect? Ugh.
Ha! Foolish, dirty student attorney! They're Japanese government top secret documents! They can't be shown to the likes of you!
However, shouldn't it be the same for you, Prosecutor-sama?
Silence! I was only doing the necessary investigation in order to expose fraud!
This is bad. It was such a harsh shock that my head is spinning. Detective Hosonaga? Yes? Regarding that photo, I don't suppose... You happened to make an extra copy of it, just to be safe, did you? How did you know? Well, it's just because of what you said at the last trial. If you're going to do an investigation, do it perfectly. You said that was your motto. You have an impressive memory. Also, he just said that like a few press statements a moment ago. So wait, detective, you can't mean... Indeed. I made one more copy just to be safe.
What?
Present that photo at once.
There's no need. That's a secret government document.
Why are you sweating, Ouchie? Why are you sweating? Detective Hosonaga, you will present that photo, and the court will accept it as evidence.
But
Information must be fairly distributed. Am I understood, Prosecutor Ouchie?
as you wish.
Candidate scorecard. A photo of top secret military justice document. Shows the legal program exchange student candidate scores. Okay, well, we're gonna look at it before I answer the judge. Alright, first place. 998 points. Soden-Oshida Tadashi. Soden-Oshida Tadashi. Second place, with 997 points, is Asogi Kazuma. And in third place, 732 points, Ouchi Takeshi. Ouchi Takeshi? Now then, witness, continue your testimony. As you wish. The part about dishonesty involved is a conclusion reached by Prosecutor Ouchi. What? Because I'm the runner-up? Are you saying this because I got it even though I wasn't in first place? Getting angry with me won't change anything. Like I said, in my heart, even if you be in last place, shut up. Oh. God, these two.
Precisely, student attorney. You were the runner-up. The only one fit to be chosen as the exchange student is someone truly outstanding and pure. He was chosen due to dishonesty. In other words, he's not qualified. In addition to immediate rest of the student, I also request a retest.
This just doesn't add up.
What doesn't?
Why are you so hung up on the legal exchange student selection? It seems highly likely that there's a special reason for this.
Ridiculous! As if there was any such reason. Right, isn't that right, detective?
Well, maybe there's someone with the name Ouchie is why you're interested. Huh? You're asking me? I'm not really in any position to speak on the topic, but...
It's fine! Testify! You know what I'm trying to say!
No, phone, not now. In that case, the witness will update his testimony. Very well. It seems that Prosecutor Ouchi has no other motive for trying to deceive the defendant other than his desire to right a wrong. Yeah, no, hold on. Come here. Give me that. So you still intend to continue piling on the lies, do you, Prosecutor Ouchi?
What's this all about?
It just became clear. I understand why you were so determined to interfere with the legal studies exchange program. That you even tried to sue me.
I told you I don't have any such...
That reason is clearly written right here. That's the scorecard from earlier. The name of the candidate who came in third place is Ouchi Takisuchi. Okay, I got a little translation note here. So the reason why I'm saying Takisuchi instead of Takeshi is that the kanji for Takisuchi and Takeshi are exactly the same. So right now, Asogi read it as Ouchi Takisuchi. The only difference is the length of one of the lines in the kanji. What? That's your name written there, Prosecutor Ouchie.
I'm a prosecutor among prosecutors whose name is basically gold to the Supreme Court system. I should think it's only natural that my talents be highly valued.
In other words, if I were to lose my right to study abroad, then the legal studies exchange student choice would be reevaluated and you would be sent instead. Sorry, I thought that was Ouchie. Don't tell me that's why he... Prosecutor Ouchie had just one reason for trying to sue me, and that was to supplant me as the legal studies exchange student.
Kya! Just as I suspected, Hick students are only capable of shallow thought.
What?
Don't get a swelled head. You were the runner-up in this competition.
As you were in third?
Which means that so long as there's a different first-place candidate, the fact that you were removed from the running would still make it impossible for me to be chosen as the legal studies exchange student.
That's really nothing to brag about, if you ask me.
Shut your mouth! In any case, all I want is for the candidates to be selected fairly. I didn't have so much as a hint of ulterior motive.
Unfortunately, Prosecutor Ouchie, you can't possibly hide your ulterior motive, no matter how much you run your mouth. Woo! No school!
What?
You tried to steal my right to be made the legal studies exchange student, because you knew if you got rid of me, the right would be given instead to you. And I have the evidence to prove that.
What are you talking about? That's nothing but conjecture.
The only thing that matters here in the Supreme Court is evidence. Therefore, the court orders Attorney Asogi to present that evidence. Evidence that proves that Prosecutor Ouchie would be granted the right to study abroad if you were removed from the picture. This newspaper article. Could I? This is this morning's paper. There was some terribly unfortunate news splashed all across the front page. All right, there was a defense attorney that kind of bribed his way to the top. I think it's the guy up there. So if the guy at the top is eliminated and then Asogi is eliminated, Asogi's eliminated, then Ouchie would be the next person in line. Lauded defense attorney arrested. He was caught trying to bribe some judicial system of officials. Indeed, as a member of the judicial system itself, I find it very hard to forgive. According to the article, he was likely caught as a result of an inside investigation ordered by the prosecution. Isn't that right, Prosecutor Ouchie?
What? No! I don't know anything about that! I wasn't the prosecutor responsible for that!
Incidentally, the name of the defense attorney who was arrested was Sodenoshita Tadashi. Huh? I feel like I saw that name somewhere just recently. I'm sure you did. Naturally, you saw it on this scorecard. The name of the first place candidate for the Legal Studies Exchange Program was Sodenoshita Tadashi. There's a lot of shh in that. That man can't possibly be selected as the exchange student. After all, he's currently serving time for the crime of bribery. So if you were to remove me from the picture, the third place candidate would be sent. And that's you. Ouchie Takisuchi. The UK is where the party is, apparently. You took everything that's happened into account and tried to sue me. Well, what do you have to say for yourself, Prosecutor Ouchie?
Now that I think about it, Maybe this is the privilege given to brats like you. The privilege of not learning your lesson, I mean.
What's that supposed to mean?
I mean that your claim is flawed at its most basic level. Think back to the trial 10 days ago. Now, once again, witness, your name and occupation, please.
Scribbles!
Forgive my rudeness, please, ma'am, but what did you just say?
The swan bitch is back.
Oh, what a lovely timbre the English language has. The beauty of it resonated with me, even though I didn't understand the words. That's right. This outstanding prosecutor you see before you has just one downfall. And that downfall is that I don't understand a word of English.
What? Yes, you did indeed seem flustered for a moment there.
In other words, even if I were granted the privilege of studying abroad, I would have no choice but to withdraw.
I really don't think that's anything to brag about.
Shut your mouth! Anyway, the only one spewing conjecture here is you filthy headband-wearing hickus brat of a defense attorney.
That's a big mouthful of salt there. Insult. Damn it. Jesus. Order, order, order! It sounds as though we've reached a conclusion. Prosecutor Alchi made his accusation with pure and just intention.
No, he didn't. Yes, I certainly did. That's all I did and nothing more. Bullshit.
That's a lie. Prosecutor Alchi definitely had some sort of ulterior motive. Do I really have to listen to him accuse me, only to let him slip away? Yada yada. Detective Hosonaga-san? What? Oh, what is it? You looked like you were lost in thought just now. Yes, it's hardly worth mentioning, but it's indeed true that Prosecutor Alchi doesn't understand a single word of English. Unlike his son. What? Well, actually, Prosecutor Alchi's son is rather remarkable. I've been giving him English lessons on the weekends and...
Quiet, detective! No one cares about that drivel!
What, you saying you don't care about your son?
Come now, Your Honor! Quick! End this cross-examination!
For some reason, I feel like for the first time just now, I saw Prosecutor Alchi for who he really is. Now this is the part where Alchi's kinda cool. Like, look, he's still a jerk. But out of all the Pains and Alchis out there, this guy's okay. You mustn't let him get away with this, Kazuma-sama. Detective Hosonaga. Yes, sir. That information you just mentioned, please add it to your testimony.
What are you talking about? The cross-examination is already over!
The only one who can render that judgment is me, the judge. Detective. Yes, Your Honor. Please amend your testimony as the defense requested. This will be your last statement to the court. As you wish.
It's a waste of time! This is nothing but useless struggle!
Is it? Prosecutor Alchi's son, Takeshi-kun, has been learning English with me. And here we go, presenting the scorecard again. To tell the truth, there's something that's been bothering me for a while now. And that's the fact that the prosecutor's name was listed in 3rd place among the exchange student candidates.
What insolence! This is the great Alchi Takisuchi we're talking about here!
the name written here is not Aochi Takisuchi. What? Huh? It's difficult to tell because of the unique handwriting, but take another careful look. Takeshi. Ah! Prosecutor Aochi. Ah! Apparently, the son you're so proud of is named Takeshi. Could you show us how to write his name in kanji? I believe we can now consider this case completely solved. Well, how about it, Prosecutor Aochi? Oh, I guess we're getting spoiled by the Nocturne track now. Oh!
We, the Aochi clan, have been a warrior family renowned for swordplay since the days of old. We gave our son a name that would call back the glory our clan possessed at the starting point of the Meiji era. Takeshi. Young whelp. No, Attorney Asogi Kazuma.
Yes?
I realize I don't have the right to make a request like this of you. But I'm begging you. Could you please allow our boy Takeshi to be selected as the legal studies?
I refuse.
Damn it! He was so close! He lost by such a small margin!
It was a margin of over 200 points, actually. Look, he got the third place. That's kind of impressive, though. This doesn't necessarily mean that he missed his opportunity, Prosecutor Aochi.
Huh?
If he doesn't lose his motivation, I'm sure opportunity will come knocking again. Someday in the future.
Oh.
Smuggle the sun instead of Naruhodo.
Go on! Cut it!
What?
If one doesn't lose motivation, opportunity will come knocking again in the future. I ought to fix my eye on what lies ahead in my own future.
I admire your resolve, Prosecutor Aochi.
You don't need to look scary.
To the future! Boink! It seems that we've reached a conclusion to all this. Sogi. Is something wrong, Attorney Asogi? Your expression looks awfully clouded. Of course, I assumed I'd been selected as the first place candidate. To think that I could have ended up the runner-up, even if it was only by a margin of a single point. Okay, well technically it was false, the guy got up there by cheating, so technically you are first. Even if Mr. Soda Noshita was arrested, it still doesn't sit right with me. Kazuma-sama. Soda Noshita Tadashi. He was indeed an outstanding defense attorney, but it was proven that he had tried to bribe the Legal Studies Exchange Program selection panel. What? The prosecution had some doubts about the final stage of the selection process and began a secret investigation. And the final evidence was gathered yesterday, leading to his arrest. So then, the score recorded on the scorecard was... It was significantly inflated. In other words, You were, without a doubt, the #1 candidate. Depart on your journey with pride. Oh man, that means that Aochi's son was runner-up. Even better. Thank you very much. I trust you have no objections, Prosecutor Aochi.
I, Aochi Takisuchi, plan to tell this to my son Takeshi. If he doesn't lose his motivation, then opportunity will come knocking again in the future.
That's a good idea. Now then, I will now hand down the final verdict for the defendant Asogi Kazuma. Not guilty! Cherry blossoms! Probably? That concludes the proceedings for today. Bing! Same day, 10:11 a.m., Supreme Court, Defendant Lobby number 3. Sogi, congrats on your not guilty verdict. It's just like I thought. A real defense attorney like you is on a completely different level than someone like me. Yeah, thanks. I guess it'll be my last time seeing you look so gallant like that for a while, huh? When you put it like that, it kind of makes me wish I could have shown you a better trial than that at least. There's an even bigger stage waiting for you out there. Because it won't be long until you're standing in trials at the Old Bailey in the Great British Empire. Yeah, finally. By the way, Naruhodo. How are your preparations going? Have you managed to get your passport yet? Yeah, I got it, but... Are we seriously gonna do this? I mean, what if I get... Say no more, Naruhodo. I already know what you're going to say. I really think you should do something about that habit of cutting others off. Kazuma-sama. Hello, legal aid Mikatoba. You were a big help today. I owe you my thanks. It was all thanks to your own skill, Kazuma-sama. I was really impressed. What's that giant thing over there? Oh, this is the trunk I ordered for Kazuma-sama. Oh, thanks. I better start getting ready for the trip. In that case, I shall take care of the post-trial proceedings. That's a pretty ridiculously huge trunk you ordered, Asogi. You might even be able to fit a large adult in there if you really tried. Naruhodo, I hate to tell you this. It's for you, Naruhodo. Huh? I will check how well you'll fit in it. Go on, get in. Huh? No, wait! Actually, thanks to all the beef stew I've been eating with you recently, Say no more, Naruhodo. I already know. Hello, Carmen. In that case, before I stuff myself in there, let me just say one thing. Sure. Shout it at the top of your lungs, Naruhodo Ryanosuke. In that case, here goes. Ikiyari! Oh man, that was actually kind of cool playing this right after case 1. And there you go. That is the Japanese side DLC.